Nicaragua is a small Spanish-speaking country with a population of 6 million people spread over an area the size of Alabama. Located in Central America, it's often overlooked by its confident cousin Mexico to the north and adventurous neighbor Costa Rica in the south. It shares the warm Caribbean Sea with Cuba on the east and the cold, punishing Pacific to the west. Like many places in Latin America, poverty is the norm, not the exception. There is a yawning gap between rich and poor, with mansions on one side of the road and slums on the other. Today we want to talk to you about the community of El Chagüe, located in southwest Nicaragua. Situated on the perimeter of nearby León, a bustling university town, it is a municipality with 700 people over an area of 23 square kilometers. There is inadequate infrastructure, no running water, electricity, or sewage. There is a real need to alleviate poverty in pocket communities like El Chagüe. The government, recognizing this need, donated livestock to the community. The local NGO raised funds from abroad to build a well, a school, and even solar panels for lighting. These types of donations are gratifying for the donors. They are easy, one time, and you can walk away feeling good about yourself. But the community is still poor and underemployed. As the saying goes, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. We are going to teach people how to fish. We are going to focus on knowledge, cooperation, and farming techniques. The land is rich and fertile, yet it is not being farmed to full capacity. To move beyond subsistence farming, we are going to provide agriculture training techniques to improve crop yields and decrease water usage and need for fertilizers. In a subsequent phase, we are going to expand to organic coffee, a highly desirable product. León is a nearby market, and not far from that, a prime gateway to export markets, the port of Corinto, one of the largest ports in Central America. We are going to help the community move products to market and bring dollars back into the community. We're going to do this without government funding. Half the population is under 22 years old, most are underemployed, and some cannot go to school due to lack of transportation. Out of the University of León, we are going to train youth in applied business and agriculture techniques to become leaders of tomorrow. Local support and community acceptance is important. In the past 2 months, we have established important relationships. Project Bonafide is an NGO that provides agriculture training to farmers. Front Proteca is an NGO that has over 20 years of experience working all over Nicaragua and has strong relationships with the leaders and people of El Chagüe. The El Chagüe Project is an agriculture development project that seeks to provide capacity building assistance to rural landowners and a collaboratively developed cooperative business model that provides income to community and stakeholders. The El Chagüe Project's 5-year goals include the alleviation of poverty, an increase in food security, the empowerment of residents, and ensuring the sustainability of the village. We have identified coffee as the ideal crop for this project. This will be accomplished in 3 phases that overlap. In Phase 1, a master farmer will be hired to orchestrate the crop planting. This farmer will have experience in growing coffee in an area similar to that of El Chagüe, Nicaragua, experience in working with farmers that are illiterate or have low literacy, and are knowledgeable about technical advances in agriculture and farmers' cooperatives. The master farmer will assist the El Chagüe participants with preparing the land, purchasing plants, and installing an irrigation system. It is imperative that women be involved in all phases of this project, as they are often the farmer and the provider of the family. Therefore, the project mandates 50% female involvement and leadership. From our research, we know that the community has some NGO fatigue. To provide a continuous stream of information and assistance, extension students from University of León will be provided on a full-time basis to assist in this project in exchange for a full tuition scholarship. These students will be role models for the youth of the village. At least half of the extension students that come to the village will be female. We have provided for a village truck in the financial estimates so that students will be provided transportation from León. As an added benefit, children from El Chagüe will now have a transportation to attend secondary school in León. Phase 2 will be implemented as soon as the farmer is identified. The last phase is the development of a farmers cooperative to maximize efficiencies in purchasing plants, fertilizers, and other supplies, share knowledge, and increase marketing power. The community must commit to work towards this goal from the project inception, both in spirit and monetarily. After modeling various financial scenarios for the project, we determined that an all-equity structure would provide the greatest return for investors while still providing co-op participants with a fair share of cash flow. With an initial project size of 50 hectares, we expect the need for $225,000 in capital over a 4-year period. The major costs we'll incur relate to labor, agriculture consulting, and irrigation system, transportation, and accounting. In calculating the profitability of the project, we used a discount rate of 12%. This is the suggested discount rate for Nicaraguan projects in publications for the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and Inter-American Development Bank, including those specifically related to agriculture. Our calculated internal rate of return for the project of 17% exceeds this by a substantial amount, which would provide investors with above-average returns. By investing $225,000, investors would own 45% of the project, which would leave co-op participants with 40%, and our management team would own the remaining 15%. The percentages represent share ownership of a Nicaraguan corporation, which has no foreign ownership restrictions and minimal withholding taxes for dividend payments to investors. The TheElChagueProject will be implemented in 3 phases over the course of 5 years. We will monitor the performance of our project by using environmental and socioeconomic indicators. Considering the environmental dimensions of the project, we are aiming to gain organic certification for the farming cooperative's coffee production by the 5th year of development, or 2016. In accordance to this, we also plan to eliminate the use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides by this same year. In terms of socioeconomic success, the project's implementation will be gauged by monitoring survival rates of the plants, considering 90% as our metric of success. The promotion of gender equality will be measured through the engagement of at least 50% of the local women in the building and management of the cooperative. We also expect to comply with local cooperative legislation by year 5 of the project. Furthermore, the economic success of the project will be monitored by assessing the increase in family income, while the development of human capital will be measured by the percentage of people in El Chague that receive agriculture training. The transition to organic farming will enhance the state of the local environment in El Chague, and social benefits will include gender parity, human capital development, and greater food security for the community. As with every venture, there are risks to be weighed. Organic coffee will yield low harvest for the first 5 years, and the market price for coffee varies. There are also uncertainties such as the future effects of climate change on agriculture and an unpredictable national government. Thank you for your time.